Hello.
Hi.
How's everyone doing today? Thank you guys so much for joining us. So today, welcome beautiful souls. So today we're looking at understanding the agreements that shape your life. So we're going to be looking at one of the most fascinating and transformational topics, which are soul contracts, which you guys always ask us about all the time. So this is one of those fun ones that we like talking about. So what are soul contracts? These are the spiritual agreements we made long before we came in this lifetime. So some of these connections are gentle and loving, some others not so much. But every one of them is here to teach, awaken, and elevate us. So we just published a blog. Dr. Katana wrote something awesome about it, but today we're going to dive a little bit deeper, okay? So I'm Anna Reina.
And I'm Dr. Katana.
Now, Katana's going to walk us through the different types of soul contracts and how they show up in your real life so you can recognize them when it comes around and how you can even rewrite them as of today whenever you're ready, okay? So you want to get started?
Alright, so it's such a potent topic, and it's something that every light worker, starseed, empath, and awakened soul eventually comes face to face with it. So soul contracts are like blueprints, okay?
Yeah.
And your soul helped design before you were even born. So actually, I've seen it a couple of times. My guides have showed it to me, like the pre-planning room or whatever you want to call it, or pre-planning realm or whatever. And so I saw, it wasn't my soul, so it was someone else's that I was observing, and I saw lots of souls huddled around with their guides, and it almost looked like a marble kind of table, huge, and everything was like moving on various levels. It was really kind of cool that I was able to see it. And so basically you sit with other souls, and some of them, you said, hey, you have spoken to your guides, and so what would you like to learn? Or what would you like to experience in this particular lifetime? And then, you either want to learn and heal or remember. What would you like to do? And then, for example, I'll say, one of your guides will say, you need to learn, or that specific aspect of yourself needs to be a little bit more or stronger. Mm-hmm. So then the souls are being asked, okay, who would like to play the protagonist, antagonist? So basically, you all agree. And it's all done for you, and it's like either to love you or to challenge you, and it's all from a place of unconditional love. So,
isn't that awesome?
Yeah,
they do it for you. All these souls come together to help you in the journey, and these people volunteer to be part of that journey that you're going through. So let's walk through these core soul contract types that show up most often one by one.
Okay, so we have like main contract types. So one of them is called the supporter. So these are the ones who feel like home.
Yeah.
Anna is my supporter. They're like
I'm the
friend, kind of partner who just gets along with you without needing to explain yourself. And she basically holds light for all the things that I should be doing. My main life path is, for example, a Master 22, meaning I'm supposed to be building something big, which is what I'm doing, building the Katana Institute, and she's here as a supporter role as well. Of course, she has her own individual contracts and mission that she needs to do, but she is mainly for me, done for me, my support.
Yeah. So there, I always say these are the ones you sign up to hold space for you. So, and as a supporter, I'm always there to support people in their darkest hour or whatever the case. And that's what supporters do. And I think we all need at least one supporter in your lifetime. So like, it's kind of like when you're building out your group, and the one that you're like, okay, I'm going to need some help because I have to go through some major stuff down there. Like, will you be there for me in my corner to back me up? Like, that's that person. That's the soul you've asked to come down there. So yeah.
So we're obviously soul contracted, okay? Yeah. So the next contract type would be, we'll call it the divine mirror. Yeah. So this one is very powerful, and it's not an easy contract. So it's like a mirror reflects back your wounds, your patterns, your fears, and things that you haven't healed yet, right? And sometimes it could be a parent, it could be a partner, it could be a friend, it could be a boss. Yeah. But it's someone very potent in your life, okay?
Yeah. And these are the ones they poke at you. They kind of trigger you, kind of set things off, things that you're trying to avoid. But it's really your soul saying, let's heal this now, right? So they know how to push your buttons, but it's meant for you to see that. So for example, or it might be that person where you get aggravated about something they're doing, something about what they're doing or how they're handling a situation really bothers you. And that's the mirror, because what you're frustrated about is not at what they're doing, is what you're frustrated with yourself doing. So that's their job, is to reflect back to you on how to make you a better person, how to heal. You know, sometimes they might not be your favorite person at the time, but that's what their role is. That's why you chose them. Say, hey, if I lose my way, or if I need remembering, reflect this back to me and show me that I still need to take care of this.
And oftentimes this is something for a lot of empaths, that you choose partners, especially they're a little bit narcissistic or have narcissistic traits. That just shows that there's something strong within you that you haven't really healed, and you haven't noticed that you're strong. So you tap into a partner who is basically the complete opposite of you, okay? And so you're drawn to that, and that's when you learn to set boundaries. It's actually meant for that, okay? So it's like a mirror. It's like, okay, you have all those aspects, but you just don't know. And so it's for you to rise. And for example, the divine mirror in my life would be my mom. She knows exactly which buttons to push. So so she's definitely okay. Then we have the next one. The third one will be, we like to call it the catalyst. Okay. These are the ones who shake things up. They might not stay very long in your life, but they activate something huge, a spiritual awakening most of the time, a career shift, a deep remembering. So
they kind of come through, and it's like a cosmic wild card. The role isn't to stay, but it is to launch you forward. So they kind of come in at a time where you kind of need that moment, that jerk, or that, hey, what's going on here? And I think this is where sometimes people get confused, like, you know, like, oh, that was supposed to be my new best friend, and they're suddenly gone, or they get a job somewhere else, or they move, they're like passing through your life, but they're just here to kind of be like, hey, get back on track. So.
Yeah, so a lot of us have those as well in our lives. So then, of course, this one is interesting. It's called the healer teacher contract. So this contract often feels like divine timing. These people come into your life, like sort of like we're coming into your lives.
As mentors.
As mentors. And again, there's sometimes energy healers, they're mentors. Some of them could be strangers. They just say the right thing at the right time, and it changes course or changes your life. So
and many of us here are being called into this role right now for others. So that's why we have our own certified coaches right now under the Katana Institute, and energy healers in the Katana Institute, because they're going out there and being the healer and teacher and helping those that are awakening right now for this very moment. And that's their role, is to get you back on track, to get you in a certain situation, because you're seeking right now. And that's the whole goal, is to have that person to kind of help you in the processing of all that information. So that's the healer teacher.
Then we have, let me think, it's the healer, the challenger. Okay. These souls come into your life to test strength. Their role is often, unfortunately, painful. It could be heartbreak, betrayals, manipulation, but the deeper invitation is, will you choose yourself?
And I've had a lot of boyfriend relationships with this as the challenger. And then once you pass the test, their grip often loosens, and the lesson is in the boundaries. So you learn how to love yourself, learn how to find your worthiness, learn how to find your place in light, and to finally let them go. We all need challengers. We all need mirror people. We all need these people in our life to get us going, you know, present these life lessons. That's why you ask them to come and be part of this journey. So they're needed, even though at the time it's heartbreaking. At the time you feel like, oh my God, the world's probably going to come to an end. Like, it can be gut wrenching, whatever the case may be. But the idea is for them to present something that challenges you to get you back on your spiritual journey into your true, authentic self. And sometimes those are the deepest wounds and the deepest healings.
As we go through these contracts, you know, try to contemplate or remember who was playing what role for you and where and what in part of your life. Okay. You can write it down if you want to, because at the end we'll do like a very little release. So, anyway, the next one would be our favorite one, the soulmate companion contract. So this is a very soft, peaceful connection. Like, you just notice it right away. And oftentimes it's romantic, but it doesn't have to be. It could be also that your soul recognizes a companion from your same soul group. Okay, that's why it's called soulmate, from your soul group, your energetic group. Okay, and so when they come into your life, again, it can be romantic, but not always. It can also be two girls. It could also be two males. It could be it could be mother and child. Again, it's just other people from your soul group coming into your life, and to either to be a companion, to walk with you side by side, or to just allow you to be your truest self.
Yeah, that's right. And it's like an anchor. So it's like an anchor, like when everything's going on, that they kind of hold you down at the same time. So it feels familiar. It feels good. And that's why a lot of people think it's romantic when it doesn't have to be. But
True. Then we have the timekeeper contract. So they arrive at a divine moment to pivot your path. They often don't stay long, but their timing shifts your entire trajectory. Okay, so sometimes they come in at like, for example, you on the other side, you said, listen, I'm going to college. And they say, okay. And then in the third year, we're going to meet in the library, okay, because by then, if I'm not on path, you come into my life and you like have this deep conversation with me, or you do something, or we go together to Hawaii or something crazy that pivots my trajectory back on path. That's what we're talking about. So these are timekeeper contracts, meaning that you made a specific time, okay? And we have multiple of those because sometimes we're so dense. We walk past some of these souls. Sometimes you go like, wait a minute. Okay, so think about those moments, right? Then you have some of them will come and pop up into your life for a little bit to just get you back on track. Should you be off path?
Yeah, and it's a little bit different from the catalyst. I mean, the catalyst is a person who kind of comes in and really shifts things for you. But the timekeeper is a very specific moment in time. Like this is someone who's like just there for that brief moment, just saying, "Hey, this way, not that way." Like
exactly.
This is a signpost. Like I'm here to show you direction and be done with it. So it just kind of gets you back on the right path versus a catalyst, which is a real transformational thing.
So oftentimes when you come to Earth, right now we have the 1111 as a wake-up call. So some of you guys are seeing 1111 or 111 all the time. And these are oftentimes before you were really awake. Okay. So then it's sort of like a wake-up call. And then so these timekeeper contracts will come in and go like, wait a minute. Okay, you're still not awake. Let me come in and kind of like push you there or something. Yeah. That's what this is. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, the next one would be, what do we got now?
Number 9.
Oh yeah, the soul contract child. Okay, so children are often advanced souls, right? They actually pick their parents. So we picked all our, and they come in very awakened, and sometimes very, very, with a lot of knowledge, okay? Especially now, the kids nowadays coming in, they have a different kind of DNA template, let's just call it that. They're very advanced. So unfortunately, parents will think that they have ADHD, but they don't, And they come into the families to break cycles. That's why we are here, like all of us now, all of you in this group, the buck stops with us. We were brought into the families now to break the cycles, to help humanity, to help humanity to evolve, to offer healing. You might be like the black sheep of the family. You might feel like you're completely different from everybody else. That's because you were sent here on purpose for that, okay? And to remind that, it's all about unconditional love. So we are the contract for them. Okay, so and we're also here to break the karmic cycle, the ancestral healing. So we're here, the buck stops with us. So in a way, you can give yourself a little pat on the back because you were sent here for that reason, for them. And so that's that contract, okay?
Yeah, and just on a side note, this also includes children that were unborn, that didn't make it, miscarriages or whatever the case may be. Like they still play a role in your healing journey. And if you were contracted not to have a child, but have that experience, they still are here to kind of show you healing and show unconditional love and support as you learn that loss and grief during this process. So they still bring some recognition and some understanding, even in their loss. That's how powerful they are. And sometimes, they're our greatest teachers, even in their little bodies, they still bring so much wisdom, unfiltered wisdom, just truth and honest and light, which is really great.
So another reason why we're here on Earth is literally, as I said before, is the buck stops with us. Okay, so we're here. There's a lot of, I mean, some of our missions are like really tough, right? Okay, not only do we have to heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors, we heal the whole lineage, and then of course our light shines bright because of that. And sometimes we still have unfinished karma. So we call this the unfinished karma contract. Okay, so basically, have you felt like you met someone, instantly you had this emotional charge, but you couldn't explain the why. And and there's like some kind of unfinished business that you have between the two of you. It could be romantic in that case, and oftentimes it's not. It's just like for you to forgive or for that other person to forgive. Okay, so sometimes it comes into, it needs to be ended in this cycle on our time right now on Earth, because we are going through this cycle, this planetary cycle, into maybe 2028 to 2032 is what I've been giving since 2016. They've been telling us that. That's when things start. We need to have everything healed by then within ourselves. Well, at least try. Okay. So
yeah, it's almost like maybe in a past life you had this like looping coming, and then now you're seeing each other again. So it has to has its end and its ending cycle. So they can feel chaotic or sometimes confusing until the pattern is seen and released. You're like, I know you from somewhere. I know this feeling, like we've met before, again, it doesn't have to be romantic, but the karmic situation between that maybe can be addressed or revised or reviewed or resituated, whatever the case may be. But it's definitely one of those where it's a time to look at it and see how you can stop it for good from looping. Yeah.
And the last main one that we have is called the guardian or guide incarnate. What that means is like, not all guides stay in the ether. Okay. Sometimes you say like, oh, I met like an angel, or you felt like that person came into your life for a very specific phase in your life. And then all of a sudden, they give you a lot of wisdom, or they give you healing or protection, and they're poof gone. Okay. And so the role is complete. And so I've met a few of those in my life. Very interesting things, like when you think it's like an angel just popped into your life. When I was in surgery and this one nurse, supposedly a doctor, held my hand in my very first surgery ever. My whole life I was so scared. And then later on I wanted to thank him because he was just holding my hand the whole time. And then the doctors after surgery said there was no one that looked like him or holding your hand. I was like, what? Of course there was someone holding my hand. No, it wasn't. So, that was really nice. So that's when I knew. So I had to ask, and they said yes. So sometimes they just pop in just to give you, support. And sometimes it could be brief, and sometimes it could be like over a half a year or a year, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love those.
Yeah.
I've had that happen to me before, and it's like the angelic disguised as a human. We've all had those run-ins before with those different types of angels and stuff, so it's always beautiful. All right, well, let's take a deep breath. You may have recognized a few of these soul contracts. I'm sure in the comment sections, if you guys can write if some of them related to you or not, or if you're living with them right now. And it's okay. Like if some of this is like really resonating with you or become emotional and things like that, because that's your soul remembering, especially if those people have already passed in your lifetime. So, but definitely add anything in there in the comment section of those types of experiences that you had, because we love sharing those stories. But let's ask the big questions. Can contracts be rewritten?
Yes. This is one of the most empowering truths. So just because you agreed something way before you came here doesn't mean you can't, change it.
Yeah. You don't have to say necessarily bound to it, but when the lesson is learned, if you do get through it and the lesson is learned, the contract is complete. So honor the contract, receive the lesson, and release with love. And now that you know that, maybe when people come up to you, you're like, oh, I know this is a contract. Oh, I know I'm supposed to be learning something from this. Oh, this is that situation. Instead of resisting it, fighting it, especially with the challenger or the mirror, understand, the sooner you can get through it, the sooner you can understand what that connection is about, the easier you can learn, heal, and even vibrate higher. But please keep in mind, we do have free will, so we can change these contracts per se, but you will have to finish it somehow or some way, maybe in your next lifetime or in a different parallel timeline. So it's not something you can escape from, because this is something you have yet to achieve and learn on an energetic level. So no matter what, whether you do it now or you do it later, you will be faced with doing this contract. So it's like, well, if you're already in the middle of it and you've come this far in this lifetime, you might as well just finish it and see it through and learn from those soul contracts that you have.
Just understand, and this is sometimes very difficult to comprehend. It's like everything around you is being done for you and never to you. Okay, so there's always a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And once you understand, like, the workings, or like, you know, the behind the scenes in the universe, then you have a much better understand, like, the why. Okay, and of course you can always communicate with your guides, with your higher self, to really understand the deeper connection and the why. Of course.
Okay, so you want to do this cute little...
So on the blog, I have a longer kind of release. So just for now, we're just going to just close our eyes with, you know, we'll take a little moment here and just bring someone to mind.
Oh, no, let me get ready. All right,
Okay.
Let's take a deep breath.
All right.
Close your eyes.
Okay, now bring to mind someone you've ready to release or forgive. Okay, just bring it up to your mind, all right? And then you're going to say this: I honor the soul agreement we made. I now choose love. Freedom. And a higher path. May we both rise in peace. Breathe and release. There you go. Now, again, on the blog, there's a little bit longer where you can sit there with a candle. You can put their names in, you know. So go over there. We'll put the link there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put it in there. Now, you know, walking through these soul contracts can feel like a maze. Trust me, because there's so many, and there's so many people in your lives, and so many people that make a difference in your life. But every step that you're taking is a sacred memory awakening to who you truly are. Remember, you guys are the ones who put these people into play. You guys are the ones who asked for these contracts to be given. So once you really receive and understand that divine truth, then you really will feel weight off your shoulder, you know, and understanding it's not you, it's, you know, like it's that the world isn't mad at you, the universe isn't mad at you, the divine isn't mad at you. This was something that you designed, that you wanted to learn and achieve in this lifetime. So with knowing that you laid out the map, that means you have also the answers, that you know how to get it done, you know how to heal and rise. So, so maybe looking at it from that perspective, because it takes you out of that victim mindset. And it pushes you into, like, I'm the player of this game. I decided to put those levels and those obstacles in there, so I know how to get around them. So that's kind of where in the awakening process, you really comes to really good grip of how to deal with these contracts and get through it stronger and faster, so you can start really enjoying your life. But either way, we're here for you. We're here for you if you have any questions about that.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.